Tony Caldera owns 2 cushion factories.
Morning, ladies. Nice and busy there, or what?
Yeah.
This one is near Kirkby, Merseyside.
Uncle now, Uncle Tony.
Are you?
And this one is on China's industrial east coast. He's halfway through a 3-month experiment to bring jobs back to Britain from China. If he can pull it off, he could make the move permanent. But the whole project hangs by a thread. As he heads to the trade fair, he knows the battle for Britain could be won or lost in the next few days.
This is the time when I'm going to find out whether the factory has a really good long-term future or not. If the orders don't come, if it turns out that everybody actually wants to continue buying from China and nobody wants to bring the work back to the UK, then we've got a big problem. If we get this week right, the whole year will go well. If we get this week wrong, then we've got major problems for the rest of 2012.
The biggest cushion fight this decade is about to begin. In the red corner, Tony's Chinese factory. Big, cheap and growing. In the blue corner, his Merseyside operation. Older, wiser and staging a comeback. The backdrop for this battle, Heim Textile in Frankfurt. 73,000 visitors from more than 136 countries, including India, where this potential customer has 500 stores.
How many pieces in total can you buy? It sounds like you've got a lot of shops. All of it? Wow, okay.
The fate of the 2 factories could rest on the business they do here.
I'll give you 1.35 for entire quantity.
It's going to cost us more than that, you know, that we'll be selling it at a loss. That's the trouble.
You have to lose some money to clean it.
Cheeky offers aside, this trade fair will see one of Tony's 2 factories come away with more orders than the other. But will China or Britain clean up?
And the other one that I'm looking at is the Dupioni.
Tony's Chinese factory makes cheaper cushions aimed at the value end of the market.
The products in our Chinese booth tend to be less costly than our UK products. You could have a simple chenille cushion, which may cost £2 or £3, depending on the retailer and the quantity. They would sell at anything from around £5 to £10.
But over on the British stand, quality sells.
The kind of clients that you get on a stand like this would be more departmental stores, more middle to upmarket retailers, not so much your discount stores. The reality is they can't really afford some of the products because some of the fabrics are relatively expensive but very, very nice. These all come from Italian jacquard looms, mainly for the top-end department stores and special collections. So we literally have everything across both stands, from very simple, cheap, plain cushions that people can just sell at, I don't know, £4.99 or £5, all the way to cushions that sell for £50 and £60.
Anyone who's anyone in the world of cushions, curtains and bed linen is here. Not only is it a chance to find new customers, but to talk to old friends. Ivor's a curtain pole manufacturer who downsized his British factory to go to China.
When I sold my equipment, I couldn't be in the factory when it went. I was so upset. I sold it to Italy and I couldn't watch the lorry take the equipment away. It just broke my heart.
Just like Tony, Ivor built his business from a market stall over 20 years ago. Now he's bringing his business back home as well.
We're doing something similar to yourself, where we're now planning to bring back our final production back into Salford in Manchester.
Really?
We want more flexibility within our stock and we want to reduce our lead time. And another point that people quite often forget, it's not just the cost in China, it's the cost of moving goods around the world. Despite
this, things are looking dicey for the Kirkby factory. The Chinese stand is generating twice as many leads.
Belgium levy, the sales very well.
It's good.
It's very good.
Yeah.
If the British stand can't get the orders, then this experiment will have failed, and the jobs will return to China. There are only 2 days left to get it right. new day dawns at the Frankfurt Trade Fair, and it's the day of reckoning for the Kirkby factory. At last, they have a big American customer interested in their British cushions.
We've done some work with them in the past in the UK stores and the US stores and the Canadian stores, but altogether they've got 2,500 stores in the US, which is more than all of our UK customers put together. Now they're looking to put a range in for the Olympics and a made in England range. If that comes off, it's absolutely huge.
Tony's commercial manager, Lindsay, has been tasked with looking after the client, TJX, the American parent group of TK Maxx.
So where do you want to start? Do you want to
maybe show us what's new and exciting?
Of course.
For the Kirkby factory, this is a make-or-break deal.
So these are traditionally the kind of things that TKs in the UK have done in the past, you know, sort of gone with the bright colours on the neutral grounds in the spring. I think the colours just really jump out.
The UK products in the States adds value because just because it's made in the UK and the customer sees value in that. Yes, we do buy a lot from China. It sells quite well and it's more fashion that we know can go to the masses. Stuff we get from the UK is more specific and it's more fashion driven. So it does carry a different retail because it's different than everything we're buying out of China.
They've not gone to the Chinese stand at all. They're only interested in British cushions.
It's going really well and they're really keen to get going straight away. They've actually asked if we've got any stocks on anything and how quick can they have it. So it's like the main girl that buys for the majority of the stores is like, I'll buy that tomorrow.
Between the three of us.
In the world of cushions, price is everything.
Yes.
Despite their love of British craftsmanship, it'll mean nothing if Lindsay can't offer them a low enough figure.
The only way that this is really going to work is if we can get really good prices on here.
Okay.
So I'm glad you're sitting because I want to just give you these
Before
offers.
I fall off my chair.
They're not terrible.
Okay. Is that UK or is that?
That's actually landed New York.
Whoosh.
She's just asked for a 40% discount on the normal price.
We need your help.
I
But no,
know,
listen,
I know.
we all picked a lot here.
Yeah.
So, and we know we're not going to make the kind of money we need to make
No.
there. So in order for us to counter it off and make the report card look good, to make these guys tell us we can keep buying more.
Help you guys get rid of some of your stock.
The deal is on the table. Cost will decide whether Kirkby can win its battle against China.
I wasn't expecting so many of them to turn up. Wasn't expecting them to be on the stand for as long as what they were, and I really wasn't expecting to pick out as many products as what they did. It's about 20,000 pieces and it's probably worth at cost $300,000.
I'm looking to get the product in my stores as soon as possible. If you could ship tomorrow, if Caldera could be in my floor tomorrow, that'd be great. But I think it'll be about 3 months, but that's a good time too.
Got the meeting sheets from today.
As the show draws to a close, the British stand has done well. Although it has fewer leads than the Chinese factory, the orders are bigger and from more reliable clients.
Is this a short-term thing, or do you get the feeling that there's a lot more companies looking to bring the production back?
I just think that a lot of them are like, you know what, the amount of times we get things sent wrong, we have quality issues, we have late shipments. I mean, empty shelves cost money, don't they?
You know, I've been quite confident that the tide's starting to turn. If this is more evidence, if your customers are saying that they're looking for more and more UK manufactured products, and it's not just a flash in the pan, then, you know, I'm going to need to, you know, get some, you know, get staff quickly. I'm going to need to make changes in the factory.
Business is set to boom at the Kirkby factory. The problem now is finding staff to make the cushions. The pressure's on, and Tony's long-suffering factory manager is feeling the heat.
The factory, we're going to need to expand fairly quickly, especially on a sewing floor. We're going to need to bring in more machinery, we're going to need to move to a different location so we've got more space, and we're going to need more people, and we're going to need them very quickly as well. It's a lot of growth in a short space of time, and that's the scary part about it.
But there's no more space on the sewing floor. With new orders imminent, it's time for the management to take action.
If the customers are interested in more orders and we can increase our production, how quickly and how easily would it be to expand the factory here? What are your thoughts about that?
The biggest constraint, as we know, is the sewing floor's pretty packed for space at the minute, and potentially and likely we're going to need to move that floor to a larger area. I need to be thinking about that now, and that's what I'm hoping to do.
Malcolm's come up with a plan that he hopes will solve all the factory's problems. At the moment, this mezzanine level is used for storage, but Malcolm wants to turn it into the new sewing floor. It might be Malcolm's plan, but Tony's keen to get involved.
If we're going to get bigger, we're going to need to use every inch of space, aren't we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How many machines have you got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 18. So it's like 9 pairs, isn't it, at the minute?
The other thing I need to do also is start to see what machinery is available as well.
Yeah, you're going to need more sewing machines.
I think it will take a month, something like that. We've talked about we might want to put together a curtain sewing area, which we could also utilise some of the space up there. There's a very good chance we're going to need to start doing some training, so we might set a little training school up over there as well.
That's one big decision made, but there's an even bigger one around the corner. Should Tony close his Chinese factory for good and bring all the work back to Britain?
How much does it cost to make it here? How much does it cost to make in China? It's a straight contest, it's a straight fight, it's very simple. Can we actually compete here in the UK? And should we actually expand the workforce and expand the capacity here?
Tony's picked one line of cushion currently made in China to run a test on. Could it be cheaper to make in Britain?
We will win.
We will win.
Bring it on, Ehsan. Bring it on. Love a challenge.
This is the moment the factory has been building towards. In the UK, Pam will record how many brown-striped cushions Joanne can make and how quickly.
Now.
Over in China, Zhong's got the same line, but with blue and green stripes. And while the sewing race goes on, Lindsay is crunching the numbers, adding in shipping costs, taxes, and working out how the exchange rate affects the price.
Thank you.
The moment of truth has arrived, and the results are good news for Kirkby.
Last year, it was 55 pence cheaper to make it in China last year.
Yeah.
With the exchange rates and the costs in China going up, is this what you're saying is you're only 8 pence difference this year?
Yeah, well, that's where I think we are now. I think, if we can get, obviously, your output out of the UK factory up from 800,000 to, like you say, 1 million, I think it's going to be closer to, no benefit, basically, of doing it in China.
So what you're saying to me now is more or less, if we haven't hit it already, we're very close to hitting that tipping point.
This is big news. By squeezing out a few more cushions a year, they'll make enough efficiencies to mean they're as cheap as China.
Wow. I never would have guessed that. I knew it was close, but I thought you'd still be telling me you're still 2 or 3 years off, but you're telling me that we're more or less here. Thanks.
All right, thanks.
Bye-bye.
It means a lot to me and this factory, because it means, because we're not that much different between them, we'll get more work, even more work than what we've got now, which is better for us, better future.
The game's changed. It's almost like somebody just moved the goalpost in the middle of the game, and I'm going to have to reevaluate quite a lot of things and make some key decisions very quickly.
But will it be enough for him to decide to close the Chinese factory?